I've been thinking about it all week, and you're going off about Noodles the freaking clown.
She makes balloon animals. What's your big deal?
My mother thought that was weird.
Oh my God! I'm so sorry. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hey, we didn't know you were here.
Hey,
welcome to episode 7 of.
I got to be honest with you.
And being 7, we thought, who else to do but Bond, James Bond, who started back in 1962, I believe. Correct?
Well, that's when the film started. The book started with Ian Fleming, and he wrote several of the books: Dr. No, From Russia with Love, Moonraker, Live and Let Die, all that stuff.
Casino Royale.
Yes, Casino Royale was the first one. But the film franchise started in 1962 with Sir Sean.
Sir Sean, yes.
Sir Sean Connery.
Which Ian Fleming really didn't want as a character. He would rather have had Cary Grant do it.
At the time in the 60s, those movies had the production value. I don't even think it had $1 million feature. I don't think it was $1 million feature. I think From Russia with Love was the first one.
Yeah.
But Sir Sean came in and did Dr. No against Ian Fleming's wishes, and because he wanted Cary Grant. But at the time, Cary Grant was the biggest movie star in the world, probably, up there with John Wayne.
Oh yeah,
and such.
Definitely.
That he was against Sean Connery's casting. But after Dr. No became a financial success,
then they started putting him out like every year.
Every year.
And he did 5 and left.
He did from Dr. No, From Russia with Love, Goldfinger, Thunderball, You Only Live Twice. All 5 of those movies sort of set the template of the 1960s Bond, the classic Bond.
The Cold War.
The Cold War, the tuxedo wearing. Well, the Cold War ones went all the way to the end of the Timothy Dalton era.
Yeah, they did. And also it also set up Spectre as a major force to fight all the time in the episodes for the most part.
That's true. Until their lawsuit.
Yeah, until the lawsuit, correct.
But we're going to talk about that as we go. He did 5 James Bond movies, like I said. He set that era with the fancy cars,
right.
The slick back hair, the
Yep.
tuxedos, the
Yep.
cigarettes. Bond. James Bond.
And just a little sidebar on that, the whole when Connery was doing it. Number one, the gun that you see that he's always holding, that was a prop gun. They never used it in any of the movies. Also, another thing is if you ever saw the Bond movies on TV, which you probably did because if you're younger, you didn't get to go see them at the theater. There's a scene in one of the movies, I believe it's Goldfinger, where a guy gets electrocuted, and you don't see that. You don't see that at the beginning of the movie because they felt it was too violent to be on TV, so it wasn't there when you first saw it.
Shocking.
Back in the shocking. Back in the 70s.
That was the 60s.
I was talking about when they put on TV.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway.
When Sean Connery left the role in 1967, there was a big worldwide cast. Who was going to play James Bond? And, they've done it for a lot of films. Batman, things like that. The big worldwide cast.
Yep.
Sean Connery had established himself as probably the biggest movie star on the planet, and they ended up picking an Australian model who had no acting experience to play James Bond. And I know I say that with a little snarkiness. I thought George Lazenby on Her Majesty's Secret Service was excellent as James Bond.
He was. It's also the only episode where Bond actually gets married, which they reference to in Moonraker, I believe.
And they reference it in For Your Eyes Only and License to Kill.
Yeah, okay.
Because at the beginning of For Your Eyes Only, he goes to Tracy's grave. Right. That was his wife's name.
Correct.
And then in License to Kill, Felix Leiter, who was his American counterpart, his sort of his buddy,
right?
His wife at the time threw Bond something, I forget what it was, a flower or something from a dress, and Bond looked at it very sad.
Right. So
he was married.
On a note to the Secret Service has 2.
Circus, you're still going on.
I don't know what it is. It's
After all, Her Majesty's Secret Service was a box office success because that one really got into Bond's psyche.
But
he got married, and he left the role.
Yep. Well, there's also 2 little side points to that I want to share because people like to know a little side. But number one, his wife was Diana Riggs, who played Emma Peel in The Avengers, which was a famous, classic, very good show on British TV and on ABC back in the 60s.
Very popular show. Yep. She was one of the most beautiful women on the planet.
Yeah, it was.
Very well-respected actress.
And it was also the longest Bond movie until recently. It was the longest-running Bond movie.
Because that one had a lot of character development.
Yeah, it did. And Telly Savalas was the bad guy.
Who loves you, baby.
Exactly. Give me a lollipop. Anyway.
Jack.
and then after that, Connery came back to do Diamonds Are Forever.
Diamonds Are Forever, and then he officially retired from the role.
Yeah, he did. Which is Don, the Ponytail Johnson's favorite Bond movie. I just want to share that.
Diamonds Are Forever.
Diamonds Are Forever, exactly. And then after that, then a person named Roger Moore showed up, and Roger Moore was...
the Campy Bond.
Campy Bond, but he was also the Saint, which is
true. Simon Templar.
Simon Templar, yep.
He was already established as a TV star, and he was the longest running James Bond.
Yes, he was. I think he won a few too many movies, but that's just my thought.
He did too many.
Yeah, he did.
He did Live and Let Die,
Yep.
Man with the Golden Gun, Spy Who Loved Me,
Yep.
Moonraker,
Yep.
For Your Eyes Only, which was my personal favorite James Bond movie, with Roger Moore as the lead. Then he did Octopussy and From a View to a Kill. That was bad.
View to Kill was bad only for one part, is because the Bond girls were young and Moore looked about 112.
It's like you talking to a chick, you know.
Really? Wow. You got to bring that up, huh? Whatever. Anyway.
But here's, okay.
So,
well, on that note,
and
not that note, but on the Roger Moore note.
On the Roger Moore note, yeah.
Who was the only Bond girl?
Oh yeah, another thing with that. Maud Adams was actually a Bond girl 3 times.
She was the female lead in The Spy Who Loved Me, Octopussy as the title character.
Yep.
And she had a very small role in From a View to a Kill.
So she kind of was...
She's a little chameleon.
Yeah, she was in 3 of them, which is kind of rare. Most of the Bond girls are one and done. So,
after Moore's campiness, though, they wanted to go back to serious
right,
Bond.
so then for 2 movies, they had Timothy Dalton, who, little sidebar, was Prince Baron in Flash Gordon, which Queen did all the music for.
Who then became Neville Sinclair in the
Neville Sinclair. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Which is a great movie too.
It's a great movie. The movie's pimp.
Yeah, but see, the problem was they didn't do well. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. He did License to Kill and
Living Daylights.
Living Daylights, which are a more violent Bond at the time.
My personal favorites.
So
then they had the lawsuit, the second lawsuit.
Yep.
Because rights got tied up with MGM, things like that. And here's a little sidebar: who was the first actor cast in The Living Daylights?
Good
James Bond.
Good question. I'm not really sure. I remember.
Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan. There you go.
Remington
Yep.
Steele,
Oh, when they couldn't because he was doing Remington Steele still. Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Pierce did 4 films, which after License to Kill closed up shop in 1989. 1995 was Goldeneye. In the 6-year span, they were preparing a 3rd film with Dalton. It was going to be called The Property of a Lady.
But it never came to pass.
It never came to pass. He went on and did the Scarlet miniseries, things like that, and then finally Pierce could play James Bond. Right. He did Goldeneye, Tomorrow Never Dies, The World Is Not Enough, and Die Another Day.
And then after he got done,
which got campy.
When after he got done, then they came back and they went looking, did a wide search.
After Batman Begins sort of changed the trend in Hollywood to go back and do gritty origin stories. They did the same thing with Bond with Casino Royale.
Which they couldn't do before because legally they didn't have the rights to it because it was sold off. So that's why it never was part of the beginning of the movies.
Franchise, because it was the first novel that Ian Fleming wrote.
Right. They do have a movie of it which has Peter Sellers and David Niven in it, but it's all done for...
It was a TV special.
No, it was. It was actually
a movie.
Yeah, it was a movie in theater. Yeah, it was.
It was a TV special.
No, it wasn't. Yeah. Anyway, and what they ended up doing is they cast Daniel Craig,
who did Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace.
Yep.
Skyfall, and this last movie, which was Spectre.
Spectre, which was really good.
It was all right.
No, but it
you
ended.
guys started without me?
Oh shit! Where were you?
I was stuck outside. There was this clown making balloon animals out there. Got hit by a car. Took me a while to get in the building. What are we talking about?
We're talking about James Bond. We got any thoughts?
Vodka martini, shaking.
I don't do James Bond. I don't have any issue with you, James Bond. I just never liked your stuff.
Well, at least you're honest.
I gotta be honest.
Gotta be honest with you.
That's the show. I gotta
That's
be honest
with you. See ya.
Final thought. Who was your favorite Bond?
I gotta go. I'll go Connery.
I gotta go Dalton.
And real quick before you forget,
we're ready to cut off air.
Yeah, true. It's always
Noodle
Clown. Yeah, whatever.
May 6th is Free Comic Book Day. It's the biggest day in our industry. I've said that a couple of times. I'll keep plugging it.
Yeah, I keep plugging it, and I just want to let you guys know we've recently decided to stop the trivia because no one really cares.
You took all the books.
Man's got to eat.
He's eating paper.
If you want one, he's selling them on eBay for $1,000 a piece.
Hey, they're 9.9s.
Shipping is not free.
It's all good. See ya.
On that note, take care, everybody. See you next time.